We got Kevin Durant up next. And you know he'll come to play. I love his versatility, but that makes shutting them down next to impossible. Coach gave us a full breakdown of what to expect, and we watched plenty of film. But sometimes you just got to throw all that out the window and settle things on the court. And I'm ready. Bring it, KD.
Live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the home of the Thunder, we're broadcasting from the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Now here's Freak. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Sefolosha passes to Scott. And it's Freak missing.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
A chance to extend the lead. To the middle. The kick out to T. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Durant dishes to Westbrook. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Westbrook's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
Splitter kicks to Sefolosha. Now here's Freak. Defense is right there. 5 on the clock. And Teague, here we go. That's good.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
Oklahoma City leading by 9. 55 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And here is Waiters. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
Yeah, not to mention the 4 big steals on the night, getting after it on both ends.
For Atlanta, they come in off a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
And when things started to go wrong for them in that game, boy, did they ever go wrong. They just could never get back on track in that game.
Greg, the problem to me was no consistency. Anytime they strung together a couple of baskets, they couldn't build on it.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
They set the pick. Outside, Scott to the inside. Here's Freak, and Durant sends it back.
And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the board for them.
Yeah, +5, as you mentioned. That didn't take very long, did it?
Freak with it, and that's not going to go. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player.
It was definitely a hard decision. I had to sit down with my family and weigh the options and really take the time to figure out what's best for me. It was tough. I mean, I loved my...
Now with more and more freshman Clark making... So the Thunder with some changes. Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Durant comes in for Waiters. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Payne. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Splitter is checked in for Horford. Sefolosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Freak subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. On the court right now for the Hawks. Freak in at point guard. Splitter is out there with Paul Millsap. That's Thabo Sefolosha. And it's Teague in at the 2 spot.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Last season, Atlanta showed just how much fun a team can have playing team basketball, a complete team effort. We use that word a lot. You don't see it much in the NBA, but boy, they epitomized it, Clark.
Yeah, they sure did. Refreshing to see a team do that well collectively without a real superstar. Just a solid group that understood their roles and played them perfectly.
Nick Collison's checked in for Oklahoma City. Scotty's checked in for the Hawks. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Pass to Roberson. Jacks up a three. The shot is off. So the Hawks will take it the other way.
And, folks, it's not like the Hawks didn't have talent. I mean, they did have 4 All-Stars last year. None of them voted in, however.
T kicks to Freak. Pulls up. Atlanta again missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass. You know, what shows you just how team-oriented the Hawks were last season was this stat. They never had anybody score more than 30 points for them in the game all season. Millsap had 30 points once early in the year, and that was the high mark for the team. It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Outside Teague. Kicks to Scott. Now here's Freak. He's covered by Westbrook. Pass to Splitter. Now Freak. That one's off. Still out of sync.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Yeah, it's palpable, Greg. I mean, clearly you can see the frustration. And it's understandable. I mean, right now they're on the wrong side of a big run.
It's Durant with the drive to the paint. Adams' shot is good. Adams has got his second basket of the game.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this. And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
He makes 1 of 2 that time. Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big three, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those three was able to finish the season.
Here's Freak. Got it off in time. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And so a pretty lopsided.
Well, Kevin, it obviously seemed like you were in a terrific.
And as we begin the second half, first half for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Cantor. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. Dion Waiters checked in for Andre Roberson. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. On the perimeter, it's Waiters and Durant. Nick Collison out there with Adams. And it's Payne in at the 1. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here's Scott. The Hawks again can't hit.
The edge.
Double to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Goes up. Rips down.
Always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And he's able to get it back. 1:22 left to play in the third. Collison the pass to Waiters. And it's Freak with the rebound. Tries again. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Pulls it from 20. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Freak's got 5 points so far.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today. And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Russell Westbrook's checked in for the Thunder. Al Horford is checked in for the Hawks. Millsap comes in for Scott. Adams with it, and it's Horford picking him up. Westbrook wide open. He fires. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Now the dish to Durant. Goes up at the stripe, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
And the miss. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. And the Thunder making a change here. Adams checked in. Atlanta making some changes. On the court for Atlanta. Freak, he's in at point guard. Scott is out there with Cephalosha. Then it's Splitter, and it's Teague in at the 2 guard.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Oklahoma City.
And the big difference here was accuracy behind the three-point line, Clark.
Well, they started spraying them from deep, and then it spread out the defense, and they had all the looks they wanted.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
Boy, I like the way they responded and made adjustments from their first meeting this year, which they lost, and came out tonight with a mission to finish off with a 1-1 season record against the Hawks.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Kevin Durant. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
And stolen by Scott. Freak dishes to Scott. The Hawks working the ball around. He kicks it to Freak. Pass to Splitter. Inside, Freak, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Hawks were so dominant last year and were the first team to clinch their spot in the postseason.
Hawks also would wrap up the top seed in the East and were able to advance against the Nets in 6 games.
You know, in the second round, the Hawks had a bit of trouble once again with the Wizards. Were able to get by them despite going down 2-1 in that series. It seemed like they were out of gas against the Cavs in the next round.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
That's his first personal foul. 3rd team foul.
No good on the free throw.
Mike Scott taking 2 shots.
And he sinks the second. There's 18 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Now here's Payne. Not a lot of room. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This game may not have been the most.
Kevin, what?
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Kevin Durant, just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot, and that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show.
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far, Freak, but it's time we make more money. I'm talking movies, TV.
Mr. Dom.
We got James Harden and that beard of his. Look, this guy's relentless. We know he's going to attack the basket all night long. So I'm going to make it my personal mission to keep that from happening. As long as we keep jumping those passing lanes, we can give them a run for their money. I know I'll be ready.
The home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. This game in Houston marks the start of the homestand for the Rockets. Well, they're certainly excited about this one, and they'll be laying it all on the line as the intensity. Capella's checked in, and it's Moniunas in for Michael Beasley for the Hawks. On the court right now for the Hawks, Freak in at shooting guard. Splitter is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And the basket by Brewer. Brewer's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
He can be a weapon if he gets going early from long range.
Well, looking back on last season, you could see the Rockets were tough at home. They just were relentless at going at teams.
Yeah, how about a 30-11 record last year? And a lot of close ones for them, but that home crowd at times could just really will them to victory.
As it did help in the series against the Clippers last year in the playoffs. And Bazemore kicks to Scott. Here's Schroeder. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Atlanta.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up.
And that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And that one's good. Beverly.
And, you know, for Houston's wins at home, a lot of it had to do with their three-point shooting. I mean, they shot an average of 35% from behind the arc at home, but kept their opponents to under 30% on the year in Houston. So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
He had a great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Here's Freak. Can't hit. Good work defensively by Harden.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out. And guys, this is what makes Houston so good and why they've been so good for so long. In the last 31 seasons, they've only had 2 losing seasons. Only team in the league to do that. It's like everybody is in a rhythm right now. Incredible stuff here early on.
Both teams playing downhill. You know, coaches say that all the time. You want to play downhill. Well, at some point you think somebody's got to cool off in this one, right?
And Beverly kicks to Capella. Brewer dishes to Harden. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. This is his first free throw of the game. And the first one goes. Terrence Jones is checked in for Houston.
At the line for 2.
Harden hits them both.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Here's Schroeder. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Down low. Freak kicks it over to Schroeder. Splitter with a screen on Beverly. Here's Schroeder. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Hawks ahead, leading by 6. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we... And certainly an intriguing matchup tonight. Let's hear from Trevor Ariza on his team's mentality coming in. Ariza might as well be describing his own game, Clarks. So for the Rockets, Josh Smith, he's checked in for Howard. Montejunas comes in for Terrence Jones. And it's Harden in for Trevor Ariza.
And Dennis Schroeder has drawn some comparisons to Rajon Rondo. Long arms, very quick and athletic. He's awfully tough to keep in front of you, but he's also a guy that can knock down a mid-range jump shot.
Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Montejunas out there with Brewer. And it's Smith in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. This Dennis Schroeder, in a lot of ways, like a Greg Anthony, very quick, very smart on the floor, but he's a young player, and he says, Clark, that he watched a lot of tape of Tony Parker to see how he got to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a great blueprint, especially when you consider the Hawks run a very similar system to the Spurs.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers gave them a bit of a boost. He picked up 10 points, and part of that scoring came from beyond the arc, adding a few threes to his already impressive season total. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
Good job as always, Doris. Thank you, guys. What was your take on his performance?
Kevin, I really felt like he left it all out on the floor. I'll say this. It was a great, hard-charging effort.
Guys, when he's on, nobody's more fun to watch. And he was definitely on in that game. I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass on.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Harden left side. Again, the miss by Harden.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Clock at 6. Scott kicks it over to Schroeder. On baseline, Jay. It's deflected. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession. The Rockets making a switch here. Capella's checked in. There's 48 seconds left in the first half of basketball. There's the bucket. Good.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Beverly with the ball. 6 points for him. Harden. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, guys, James Harden, quite possibly the most devastating rim attacker in the league today, just refuses to slow down. Wayne Clark, he's going right at the basket.
Yeah, he's got it all, Kevin. I mean, he's so thick and strong and has deceptive moves and explosiveness. When he gets inside, he's scoring or you're fouling.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Corey Brewer.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Harden the pass to Montejunas. Kicks it out to Harden. Here's the screen. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Harden's got 10 points in the game.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
And Bazemore kicks to Freak. Three seconds left. Shot is off. And so we wrap up the first half. Hawks lead by 13. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, James, throughout the first half, you struggled with turnovers. Is keeping better control of the ball a major focus for the second half?
Yeah, that's still too many turnovers, especially on forced turnovers. So we got to really lock in on our turnovers.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going. Making some changes. Capella's checked in, and Terrence Jones is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Splitter's checked in for Horford. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. Freak's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder's subbed in for Jeff Teague. On the court right now for the Hawks. Freak, he's in at shooting guard. Kent Bazemore is out there with Paul Millsap. Then it's Splitter. Harden outside. Right block shot. And Splitter pulls it down.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Shooting for Houston.
No good on that one.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
And the Rockets making a change here. Beverly's checked in. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Horford's checked in.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Well, last season the Hawks not only had a great year, sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta, and they were rewarded with a terrific season. A group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
From deep three-point range, and it's Schroeder missing.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Harden with it. Now defended by Freak. The dish to Beverly. Launches a three. Rebound, Atlanta. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And Kevin, you know, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time, they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group.
Houston's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Kicks it out to Harden. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Harden's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
It's deflected. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. And the shot is good. Harden's got 17.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
No, that's a close call there on the illegal screen.
But I'd go along with it, Greg. I mean, it didn't look like his feet were set to me.
And he goes in for the dunk.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys. And it was the same exact story last time out.
Got it up. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. Well, and thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's Beasley in for Trevor Ariza. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Freak's checked in for Paul Millsap.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Hawks.
Clark, look at their number of assists.
Well, they minimized the one-on-one situations, Kevin. They got the ball moving, and it found the open guy.
Great ball movement, you're right. And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And in the season series, they'll end up taking the upper hand with the first victory for this matchup with a 1-0 record against the Rockets.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Teague. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Then there's Beasley. Then there's Howard. And it's Capella in at the 4. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Shot clock at 5. Hardaway dishes to Freak. From deep. Beasley with the rebound. Now here's Terry. Beasley outside. Another miss by Houston. And so Atlanta takes this one.
Well out.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille. Jeff Teague. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoy.